The views, conversations, and opinions expressed on this channel could be subjective or objective and are also for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Here on The Mix, we encourage and implore you to conduct your own research.
Sleep peacefully at night. I don't. I'm on 2 different medications. I constantly have panic attacks. I stress daily. I'm seeing a psychiatrist I'm seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist. Like, my life is terrible because of this situation.
Gibson still upset and still demanding that Gregory Case and his son Brandon be held responsible for shooting at him while he delivered a package in their Brookhaven neighborhood in January of 2022.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Mix. Like this video, share this video. Thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. As you can see what this video is going to be about. But before I dive into the topic, I need for you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Do that right now. It's free to like, it is free to share, it is free to subscribe. If you are interested in donating, hit that Cash App, that Zelle, that PayPal. It is in the description section of this post. Also to you guys, I'm trying to build up my social media platforms across all different types of platforms. So follow me on Facebook, X, and TikTok. The information is in the description section or the handle of my page. So just follow that link tree and you'll see the different socials. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for your support. Follow me on the different platforms. Okay, without further ado, oh my gosh, you guys, I have been meaning to do some content on this. I was kind of taken aback, not surprised, but taken aback in this justice or injustice. Let me go ahead and head on over to this article and then share the remainder of these clips with you guys, and then I'll come back with my commentary, reaction, opinion regarding the case being dismissed. This situation involved a FedEx guy who was driving and was actually shot at by some homeowners in Mississippi. So here we go, and I'll come back with my final thoughts, reaction, and opinion. Here we go.
The father and son were charged with attempted murder, conspiracy, and shooting into an occupied vehicle. Those charges, just like this case, now dismissed. A judge ruled that Detective Vincent Fernando, who's with the Brookhaven Police Department, purposely withheld evidence by not turning over an interview he did with Gibson.
A lot of people think that the case being dismissed means those guys weren't guilty, but it was dismissed due to a technicality, not saying that they weren't guilty. Even their lawyers admitted that they did the crime. They only provided excuses as to why they did it.
While he does admit Fernando should have turned in the evidence, Gibson believes others are also to blame for this outcome.
When we went to court, they kept asking him why was he withholding evidence, and he told them, hey, I gave them everything I had. Other people in the department didn't give me everything, so if they didn't give it to me, I can't give it to y'all. You understand what I'm saying? So now they trying to make him out to be the scapegoat as if he just did this all on his own. No.
The case is now being dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot come back up again. However, Gibson says he's not giving up in his fight for justice.
If I was one of their sons, if I was the judge's son, if I was the DA son, if I was Brandon or Gregory's son, they would feel completely different about this situation. But the fact that I'm not, the fact that they don't know me, they don't care, they don't relate.
Gibson is now hoping police will bring new and different charges against the father and son. In the meantime, he says he's continuing on with the civil lawsuits in this case.
Okay, everyone, according to MississippiFreePress.org, charges against man accused of shooting at Black FedEx driver dismissed. Judge cites detectives' repeated intentional errors. Sheesh. Okay, let's get to the nitty gritty of this, you guys. A Lincoln County judge on Monday dismissed all charges against 2 white men who prosecutors accused of shooting at DeMontario Gibson, a Black FedEx driver, while he was making deliveries in Brookhaven, Mississippi in January 2022. So keep that in mind, everyone. This happened in January of 2022. The dismissed charges against Gregory Case and his son Brandon Case included attempted murder, conspiracy, and shooting into a motor vehicle. Okay, the article further cites, though he was not injured during his encounter with the cases, DeMontario Gibson shared photos with the Mississippi Free Press in February of 2022 showing bullet holes in his van. Authorities indicted the men in November of 2022, so they got indicted the same year. The article further cites Mississippi Circuit Court Judge David Strong declared a mistrial on August 17, 2023, citing the fact that Brookhaven Police Department Detective Vincent Fernando withheld a recorded interview he conducted with Gibson at the police station after the incident. The judge said he improperly testified about finding guns in the home of one of the defendants and shell casing outside. Oh, wow. So in that recorded interview, he said what he said. The judge, wow, the judge has been being real thorough in this case. Okay, pun intended. The cases, these are the accusers, that's their last name case. Their attorneys, Terrell Stubbs and Dan Kitchens, entered a motion to dismiss the case on September 16, 2024, alleging that Brookhaven Police Department Detective Vincent Fernando violated multiple laws when giving testimony. So let me pause right here. What this means is that, remember, back in August 2023, the judge declared a mistrial because of improper ethical actions the police committed, the detective. So the alleged accusers' attorneys brought the case before the court in September 2024, asking for it to be dismissed indefinitely. Yeah. Although there was a mistrial, the alleged accusers' attorneys said, hey, we want this gone and off the books. Okay. And so they did that in September 2024. So in a September 30th, 2024 hearing for the dismissal motion, Judge David Strong asked the prosecution and defense to submit a brief for the court to rule on the motion. In October 2024, the Lincoln County District Attorney's Office set a retrial date for January 6, 2025. So it's supposed to have been going to trial again. So basically, the District Attorney's Office is like, F that motion to dismiss. We setting this for trial. F that brief. They they ended up doing a brief. They ended up the District Attorney's Office ended up setting the trial date again, because remember, it was a mistrial back in 2023. So it's up to the District Attorney's Office to try the case again, and they chose to do so. Okay. So the judge on January 6th of 2025, y'all, the article further cites dismissal order said that the defendants alleged that the cases were intentionally denied evidence, exposed to double jeopardy, denied due process, and did not get their right to a speedy trial because of Fernando's errors. Sheesh. The judge dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning the case cannot be retried in that court again, but the Lincoln County District Attorney could still appeal it to the higher court. Having conducted a hearing and having reviewed the file and all pleadings, the courts find that the investigator in the case intentionally withheld evidence from the defense, even the district attorney, on numerous occasions, resulting in egregious discovery violations by the state. Strong's order says, and that's the judge's order, these repeated intentional errors are a clear violation of the rules of criminal procedure, as well as established case law, justifying the dismissal of the indictment with prejudice. Brandon Case's lawyer, Dan Kitchens, declined to speak to the Mississippi Free Press on January 6th about the dismissal. Okay, everyone. So what are your thoughts? Like this video, share this video. I will run some polls in the community section, so stay tuned, stay connected. Wow, this is a great miscarriage of justice. And I say that in the defense of Gibson. Yes, I say that in his defense, and he is right about the case being dismissed on a technicality. But let me just go ahead and take it a step further, you guys. This is what I mean when I say that how the justice system works for certain cultures or certain people. And this is a prime example. The judge crossed his T's and dotted his I's. Yes. The detective officer was in violation of lying, basically. Ethical actions going against the cases, the accusers, that's their last name, Case. So who fired the gun into the FedEx van where Gibson was residing or whatever. So I'm saying that to say, you guys, the system, we have key players in place. We have law enforcement detectives, we have, police, we have the judges, the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, sometimes public defenders. If people would do their job correctly, then the process will be fair and just for everyone. And in this situation, it seems like Gibson is just collateral damage, because these people, they really, really follow the law, the books. And that should be in any case. There's plenty of law enforcement and detectives that clearly lie, but it's glossed over. It's glossed over by a judge. It's glossed over by prosecutors, their peers. It's glossed over. But in this instance, in Gibson's case, it wasn't glossed over. Defendants, attorneys really worked in their best interest, their client's best interest. First, it was a mistrial because of the detective's unethical actions. Then, at first it was a mistrial because of that. Then, a year later, the defendant's attorneys brought the case back up in court saying, hey, we want this gone, deleted, depleted from the system with prejudice. So now all of a sudden the judge like, okay, let me hear it. So now you got the prosecutors supposed to do their job. Seems like the prosecutors, in my opinion, really didn't work hard. But what did they do? They ended up setting the trial date for January of 2025, January 6th. And so what the judge come and do on January 6th? It just seems so calculated, in my opinion. On January 6th, 2025, the judge came back and said, you know what? Dismissal with prejudice granted. And I'm telling y'all, this is a prime example of how the justice system works fairly for some and not all. And I speak about that here on my channel. when there's key players in place, the judges, the attorneys, from the private attorney, the prosecutors, the detectives, the police officers, if everyone is doing their part correctly and ethically and following the rules and the law for everyone, then to me, in my opinion, it will be fair. Justice will be fair to a greater extent. Probably not perfect, obviously not, but to a greater extent. So let me know your thoughts. I feel bad for Gibson. He's collateral damage in this case, in terms of, and when I say collateral damage, it's because the system worked for the defendant how it's supposed to work, because the officer of the court was unethical. And so there's laws in place to deal with that. And that was pointed out by the judge. That was pointed out by the defendant's attorney. So, and that happens often. On the flip side, if it's someone else, who's fighting for them? This is unfortunate. Hopefully he gets some type of justice from a civil perspective. I don't think the prosecutors will even escalate this to the appellate court. They don't give a damn. They ain't trying to do work like that, in my opinion. I rarely see things like that happen in the news unless I'm just not, fully aware of it. But let me know your thoughts, you guys, down in the chat. I had to go over this. I know this took place in January of this year. This is a prime example, another example of the justice system when it works fairly, in my opinion, for others. And voila, here we go. This is the prime example, unfortunately. And Gibson is collateral damage. Gibson could have died. Just change roles. What if it was Gibson and his buddy? And it was the dad or the father, one of the cases. How would that turn out? How was that fair? Drop some comments in the chat. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for your support. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.